We need more federal judges to do what Judge Mary Day did. He's a federal judge from the Middle District of Florida. He was a George H.W. Bush appointee from 1991. When Donald Trump filed that ridiculous, frivolous lawsuit against the New York Times, this Republican appointed judge from 1991 immediately upon it hitting the docket, read it, all 85 pages, and said, what the hell is this slop that Donald Trump filed against the New York Times? Get this out of my court. He referred to Donald Trump as a prominent American citizen suing a prominent American media corporation, making it clear you're citizen Trump in this lawsuit, which has implications for other aspects of this federal case, which Harry and I had previously explored in terms of not having immunity for Donald Trump, not being able to assert executive privilege. You're going to be susceptible to discovery. I think that was a subtle warning, Harry, that was in this order. You're citizen Trump. Let's be clear when you file lawsuits like this. But this judge in 4 pages kind of mocked, humiliated, chastised, just said, what are you filing here? And it went through and quoted ridiculous things from Donald Trump's lawsuit against New York Times about the ratings from The Apprentice and how Donald Trump's dad was a wealthy man and Trump got these buildings in Manhattan and look at the buildings and he makes so much money. And the judge is like, what are you filing here? The judge literally said, it took me to page 81 before I understood what you were even, and by the way, me too. Same thing. Took me to page 81. And it's like, oh, you're suing the New York Times for defamation based on 2 articles in a book from September and October of 2024. But you spent 81 pages in this kind of meandering, bizarro, self-congratulatory, whatever. Like it was very, 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 it was very strange. And the judge called him out, and the judge said, I'm on my own. Without New York Times even responding, I'm going to strike your complaint, basically meaning I'm dismissing it. I'm getting rid of it unless you amend it and change it. And then the judge said, the next one you file can't be longer than 40 pages, and it must comply with Rule 8 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, meaning you've got to file an actual concise statement of what your lawsuit is and not whatever the heck this is, or don't file again. Again, New York Times hasn't even responded, and the judge read it, and that was the judge's response. You know, it reminds me of Judge Middlebrooks from the Southern District of Florida when he sanctioned the with Donald Trump as a private citizen and Alina Habba for $1 million. He went through the whole history of Donald Trump's vexatious litigation and talked about Donald Trump's modus operandi of filing frivolous lawsuits to harass and intimidate people and to chill speech. So I want to bring in Harry Litman from the Talking Feds YouTube channel, the Talking Feds Substack, former top federal prosecutor out of the Western District of Pennsylvania and Maine justice as well. Harry, I think that this judge did what other judges needed to do. And I'll tell you, for me reading it, what was really refreshing is just seeing a judge say the most basic stuff that other judges sometimes haven't done. They've just normalized this slop that Trump files, and they treat it like it's normal litigation, and they let him go through the process. And I'm wishing this was the judge in the case where Donald Trump sued George Stephanopoulos and ABC and Disney, or when Donald Trump sued CBS in Texas and got that MAGA judge out there. Like, to me, this was a Republican, George H.W. Bush, super conservative federal judge saying, dude, what the hell are you filing here? This is embarrassing. The judge talked about the dignity of Article 3 and how you have to maintain the dignity of courts. It was good. It was refreshing to read that, Harry Litman.
You bet. I mean, Ben, we had both noticed this incredible feature of the crazy overstuffed complaint that didn't say anything that they had lied about gun violence. It was just this screed going over the oldest of grievances, whether he was really responsible for the success of Apprentice and the like. And you may recall, you're in my discussion, you had talked about the perils for Trump if he's gets discovery and a deposition. I had said, well, yeah, but it might really be in a whole nother channel. You would think of a motion to dismiss. We were both wrong. This guy that normally, when you file a crazy complaint or even in any event, the other side will come in, rule 12b-6, motion to dismiss, and they'll be back and forth. As you say, this guy, I've never heard of a dismissal on what Rule 8 is. It's just a description of what a complaint is. It's just as though a complaint is a short, well, as if you're, in first day of law school or at a clerk's office. And he literally the judge was so revolted by reading it when he maybe tried it at page 83 to know what's going on, dismissed it without any input from the New York Times, saying this isn't even a complaint. This doesn't qualify under the basic of rule what a complaint is. And then he loaded up with some of the sternest excoriation of a litigant I've ever seen. I mean, man, oh man, that's not saying this is a bad complaint. It's saying literally, legally, it's not a complaint at all. And then moreover that, it's saying rhetorically, you gotta be effing kidding me. This is just a badly written, overlong press release that I won't even make New York Times say anything about. I'm just going to say, you didn't even get the definition of what a complaint is. I think you and I have both been former litigators. I've never seen such a severe uprating and dismissal of a single complaint as this one.
So, Harry, do you think this sends a message, though, to future federal judges? Can it give more federal judges a backbone here to speak clearly and with moral clarity? I think that's the word, moral clarity in this order. And that's what was refreshing for me to see. I don't want federal judges pretending this stuff is normal. Look, you and I are both law professors. You've practiced obviously significantly longer than me and at a higher level in the federal government than I never practiced in the federal government. But this stuff is not normal. Harry, this is the type of stuff that you would see ridiculous. I don't know, how would I refer to these? There would be a lot of lawyers in my private practice sometimes that were out there that I didn't even know how these people could pass the bar. And they would put these just grotesque mutations before superior court. And I'd be like, what are these people filing? They would submit declarations before a major motion. I'm not making this up, Harry. I've had lawyers do this, that they've had like diarrhea and they needed extensions of time because they just had diarrhea and and I'm like, what are you guys are lawyers? Were you telling the judge you have diarrhea? Like because you missed the deadline? And there's a lot of lawyers that are out there that practice very sloppy, and litigants who go through the system and just sue everybody and their view. And Trump's doing it. And to me, this was never I'm a Democrat, so I don't like it. I just read this stuff. And as a law professor, I don't know how I look my students in the eyes and tell them that what they are doing matters when he gets away with some of the stuff that he does in courts.
And he doesn't only slap Trump around for the terrible content. He said, what? You're trying to make me be your proofreader, me be your publicist? He's pissed that he's being treated this way. In terms of your point, we've got no dearth of, not as colorful as this, but of course this was maybe a singularly devoid of content complaint. But you've got more and more lower courts not simply ruling against him, but really explaining what is so abnormal, lawless, pernicious, dangerous. But a lot of them are now getting scared. What'll happen on 1 Street, and will there be a shadow docket, etc. So I gotta say, it's a very colorful ruling. You already have some, courts calling things out. I don't think this will influence the overall thrust of there's a Donald Trump personal suit, recall, defamation going back to the 80s. I think it'll stand on its own 2 feet as an unbelievable outlier of absolutely eviscerating criticism of Donald Trump.
Harry Litman runs the Talking Feds YouTube channel, the Talking Feds Substack, and the Talking Feds podcast. Please subscribe to all of Harry's platforms. It's where I get a lot of my legal news from. Harry Litman, thanks as always.
Thank you, Ben.
And everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million here.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.